All right, on today's video, we are going to be looking at how PTE scores you in 2020. We're going to have a look at every item in the PTE speaking and how many marks they actually carry. And lastly, I am going to give you my own personal opinion about how you should structure your studies, what areas you should focus on first as you are preparing for the PTE, particularly for the PTE speaking. Now, without further ado, let's jump right in, shall we? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another tutorial video. My name is Josh and this is Learnerific 99, and on today's video we are simply going to be doing some quick maths to calculate your scoring for the PTE speaking in particular. Now, before we do all that, I just want to suggest to you guys that if you do enjoy contents from this channel, please hit that like button on this video and subscribe to the channel for more content, guidance, tips and tricks for PTE examination. Now let's get back into the order of the day. Today we are having a tutorial on how you're being scored, right? So what you need is to get your PTE score guide and also get your pen and your paper. And if you don't have the PTE score guide, looking at this video would suffice and really help you out when it comes to the scoring for PTE speaking. So without further ado, let's rock and roll, shall we? All right, so for the PTE speaking, it consists of 5 items. You have your read aloud, repeat sentence, describe image, retell lecture, and answer short questions. We're going to look at all the scorings for each and every one of these items, add them together, and then convert them into band scores. Okay, so let's jump right in and take a look at read aloud. For the read aloud, you are being scored for 2 communicative skills, and one of them is reading and the other one is speaking. So definitely the marks that you score here are going to be doubled, and they're going to be taken. One part of it is going to be taken and added to your reading, and then the other part is going to be used for speaking. So let's have a look at the marks that are obtainable for each item here. For when it comes to this part of speaking, and when it comes to all parts of speaking, you are actually being scored for 3 traits. 1 is your content, 2 is your pronunciation, and 3 is your oral fluency. So be very wary when you're practicing for oral fluency and pronunciation. Make sure that you are practicing properly and you are perfecting on those skills. Now let's take a look at this. For this, there's no particular marks awarded for content, but you have 5 marks for pronunciation and 5 marks for oral fluency. You've got a minimum number of items of 6, so you may be attempting 6 or 7 questions. So let's take 6. 6 times 10 is 60, so you have 60 marks obtainable in this part. Now let's take a look at repeat sentence really quickly. For repeat sentence, you've been scored for communicative skills of listening and speaking. So as well, your points will be doubled here, and they will be added to listening. So you might want to focus a little bit more here because it is a double whammy. Now let's see what marks are obtainable in this item type in general. So basically you have 3 marks for content, as it should be. You have 5 marks for pronunciation and 5 marks for oral fluency. Now that's a total of 13 marks for one item, but you get 10 items minimum. So 10 times 13 is 130. Now that's quite a lot of marks, don't you think? Well, I seem to think so. Now let's move on to describe image. Now as for describe image, you get 5 marks for content, 5 marks for pronunciation, and 5 marks for oral fluency. You're only being scored for speaking on this one, by the way, but just look at it, is still so important because you get 6 number of items as a minimum, or 7. So basically let's take 6 and multiply that by 15, which is what? 90. That's quite a lot of marks as well when it comes to speaking. Now let's move on to retell lecture. When it comes to retell lecture, also for content, you will be scored 5 marks as well because you are creating your content. Now because you listen to a lecture and retell that lecture, you will be scored for listening as well. So your marks are possibly doubled, and one part of that mark is being added to your listening. So perform properly here and perform very well here, and your listening assessment is also going to go well or fairly well. It will aid your listening assessment to push you over that line that you're looking for. So if you were trying to score 79 in listening or and above, this would be part of what helps you to achieve that. Now, so you get a total of 15 for trait scores. Multiply that by 3, which is the minimum number of items that you would get, and that is 45. Still a fair bit of marks. Now, let's go into the last one. So the last part or the last item type that you would face when it comes to PTE speaking is answer short questions. For answer short questions, your trade scores is simply for vocabulary. So when you are answering a short question, you may say 1 or 2 words, but the right answer would be picked by the AI and they would score you for that. So you get 10 minimum here and you get 1 mark for each correct answer. Now multiply 10 times 1 is 10. Now let's add all the marks together and see what our total is. For read aloud, you get 60, repeat sentence 130, you get 90 for describe image, 45 for retail lecture, and 10 for answer short questions. And what is the answer? Total score of 335. At least when I did my maths, that's what I came up to. You let me know what your total score is when you do this maths. Maybe you didn't use all the minimum scores. Let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, having a look at this, you want to convert this into your band score. Now your band score is when you look at your scorecard and you see 65 or you see 79 or 90 in your communicative score. So we want to convert this 335 into that range of 10 to 90. For you to simply do that, you just have to take your scores divided by the total scores, in this case, which is 335, and multiplied by 90, and you would get scores in the range of 10 to 90, obviously. So now let's do an example of this. So let's say, for instance, you did not take the retail lecture in general, like you missed out because maybe your microphone wasn't working. Now this is a hypothetical situation. I wouldn't wish this upon anybody taking this exam. Okay, so a hypothetical situation. So you missed out on that. But let's say you scored every single mark that you could in every other area. So you would have lost 45 marks in this case, meaning you got a total score of 290. Now that would be your score. Divide that score by 335, which is the total score, times 90, and you get 77.9, which is an approximate of 78. So that would be a band score of 78. Now, not too bad if you actually take this exam and you get 78, but for most of you, you want that 79, you want that assurance. So 79 plus to get that mark for whatever purpose you want to use it for, especially for immigration and all that. So 79 marks seems to be pretty good. Now that's how you convert it into band score. Now I'll be giving you my own personal opinion about what areas you should be looking at first when you're preparing for PTE speaking. For me, I would take repeat sentence because it carries the most mark, and make sure that I perfect my skills in repeat sentence. And then I would look at describe image and perfect my skills in describe image, then read aloud, and then I would follow by retail lecture, and lastly I will follow with answer short questions. Okay, so that is my own personal arrangement when I am studying. Let me know in the comment section below what areas are your area of focus and how many marks you are actually looking for when it comes to the PTE. Is it 55, 65, or is it 79 plus? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm really curious. Now, anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. Now, I'm going to be jetting off and let you get back to your studies, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. And if you did, remember to hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel and ding that bell for notification. Now, until the next time that I catch you, remember to keep learning, stay blessed, and be terrific. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace. And I'm out of here.
1, 2, 3. We blast through with the beans, scary like Halloween. Been a long time coming that I be hitting the scene. Fighting like color pains, now you send the same. Glowing like Halloween is the way to begin.